All right, hey, what's up, guys? Uh, Here about to do some drafts today. Hop in some big boards. I'm gonna hop in and I'll say what's up. So I'm gonna hop in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Right, we're in, waiting for 5. Yo, boom, money anything. Hey, what's up, Jeff? Thanks for stopping by, brother. I can only stay for a few minutes because I need to get my best ball golf fix. I'll be rooting for your teams in spirit. Hey, fair enough, fair enough. Gotta catch that Candyman. Talking about what is it? The Houston Children's Open, right? But yeah. No, I'll be hopping in there right after. I'll be hopping in. I think he's not starting for a while. I think a little bit after 7 or so. But yeah, no. I mean, I'll definitely be listening to that too. I don't know. I haven't been playing a ton of the weeklies for golf or anything. I've only been doing a little bit, but I've been trying to get in a little bit more albatross. I know now it's starting to get closer. I don't have a ton of volume in it yet, but I'd like to get up around, I don't know, maybe like 30 to 40 albatross drafts. I'd be pretty happy with that. I think right now I have like a dozen or so. So the big board's still waiting on 3. We can see real quick my albatross. I have 13, 4 little, 9 regular. I know I have a shitload of John Rahm. Yeah, I have 53% Rahm, 61% Penge, and I just take Rahm at like 3. I was taking him over Fleetwood when Fleetwood was going above, but I didn't take him over Rory or Scotty ever. I just happened to get a lot of like 3 or 4 picks. Um, yeah, a lot of Spawn. Probably will back off on him. I mean, obviously, I don't have very many drafts, so the exposures look kinda weird, but yeah, I don't know. I'd like to get around like 30 to 40 range though for the Albatross. Still waiting on 2 for the big board. I don't do dailies for any sport. I love to draft before the season starts and just enjoy the games during the season. Yeah, I'm mostly like that. I mix in a little bit of the dailies just because I don't know. I love to just draft too much. But no, I don't know. I'm definitely a lot more of a season long player. Even in the golf, like I did like 120 scrambles. In weeklies, I think the most I've gotten to on a weekly slate was like 7 or 8 drafts or something for golf. And even for football, I do like, I don't know, maybe upwards of like on a very high week, like 25 or 30, but most weeks like 5 or so. I'm definitely also more of a season long guy. 50% ROM, I need more Penge. Yeah, no, I mean Penge, like he seemed, I guess, good late, right? Just given his like ranking, I guess he has a pretty good shot to get in. He's been playing, I guess he's been kind of up and down, right? I guess I'm not, I don't know. I haven't really been super into the data for golf. I do watch Candyman stream, obviously, the fantasy football garage, but I've been watching the tournaments every week. I mean, I don't know. I feel like Penge hasn't been super competitive, but I feel like he was really good at like the cognizant, maybe. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I'm still trying to learn. I'm still a rookie at the golf. You know, I played a little bit of the Albatross last year, but that was mostly just kind of like overlay chasing, and I just got some rankings and stuff. But I feel like this year I'm actually trying to watch it, learn a little bit more and stuff. So I'm not going super hard. I went pretty hard on the scramble though. So far that's going okay. I got a little bit above average advance rate, and then my teams are looking okay right now. I think I'm at like, okay, draft's about to start. I want to see real quick. I think my scrambles right now, yeah. So I have 25 around 2. I'm advancing 6 of them. I think I'm looking okay for this week for my teams, but I think at the Masters, that's where I should pick up the most because I think I have a lot of guys. I think I'm pretty heavy on like the more like signature event top tier guys with my portfolio. Like my teams are closer to the top. All right, so we're in at 8. Uh, Anyone I recognize? Rambo Show. I know who that is, but I can't remember. I see him on Twitter a lot. I think that's it. That's the only one I noticed. Oops on Spawn. Yeah, yeah, no, I mean, he's just he looked like he was about to start bouncing back, and then he just kinda fell off again. Yeah, I don't know. It seems like I said, I'm a newer fan, but it seems like the people who were like, he kinda had a magical run and, maybe that was, like, his peak of peaks. It seems like maybe it was more like that than him actually, like, leveling up into the top 5 guy in the world or top 10 guy in the world or something. Um, yeah, he's been pretty disappointing this year, though. The only 2 live golfers worth anything this year are Bryson and Rahm. They are elite. Yeah, no, I believe that. Those are the only 2 I think I really have any exposure to. You were good early with the, warning on Joaquin Niemann, so I don't think I have any of him. Um, Maybe I have, like, 1 share for my first one, I'm not sure. But yeah, Bryson and Rahm, those are the only ones I think I pick ever. Yeah, I don't think I picked another live guy. He looks like a one-year wonder. Yeah, that's what it seems like. I mean, and that is, like, what I heard a lot of the negative talk on him, like, at the beginning of the year, but, then you also have the supporters of him. I think it was kind of a mixture, but yeah, it definitely seems like one-year wonder, that was kind of his peak. Maybe he does hit a peak again, but it doesn't seem like, oh, he just reached another level of his game or something like that, where he's gonna consistently be that top guy. Alright, so alright, back to the football. Jefferson went at 5, that's pretty interesting. I don't think I've seen him go that high yet. Um, like, over Taylor's pretty interesting. JSN at 7, would've liked to get him there. I have a really low amount of CMC and CD Lamb, but I think I'm gonna take a little bit more CMC. I think I've just been being a little bit scared about his efficiency did go down, but I'm just worried about injuries or, his age. But realistically, if he's healthy and he plays on the Niners offense, they're going to give him 80% plus of the workload. And the scoring potential is going to be really high, even with injuries, right? So I don't know. I feel okay with him there. He does scare me a lot, but CMC at 8, if he's fully healthy, he's not really going to let you down if he's fully healthy. From a talent standpoint, I love Neiman. I'm interested in the last 2 rounds. He was just way overvalued early. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, because if he does win one of the early ones or something like you were saying, I think yeah, you and Candyman were mentioning that before. Like he is in the Masters, so it's like he could. I think it's the Masters. He's in one of the early ones, I believe the Masters, and if he wins that, yeah, then he could just like crush your season, right? Um, but yeah, I mean, maybe I can mix him in here and there. I'll kinda see, like, as it's getting closer. I guess, obviously, his status isn't really gonna change in that sense until the events actually start happening, but, yeah, I mean, maybe I'll mix him in a little. I don't know, I trust you with the golf talk, Jeff. You you and Candyman are my most trusted sources for golf knowledge. We'll grab Hampton here. I'm actually a little bit underweight and, a little bit of a fall. I like Hampton just as much as pretty much any of the guys that go up to Love. I think all 5 of these running backs, Love, Barkley, Walker, HA, and Hampton, I view them in a pretty similar tier. Like, in the same tier, I would put Genty a tier above, actually, like, kinda like how it went, but I think for me, it'd probably be Hampton, Walker or no, probably Hampton, A-Chain, Walker, Barkley, Love. I'd probably put Love last out of that group of 5. But I don't think pulling them up to 13 is bad either. I mean, they're in the same, like, roughly tier, I think. Uh, but to me personally, I think I would have Love last out of them. Oh, wait. Neiman in the PGA Championship and US Open. Okay, right, he's in 2 out of the 4. Right, so if he just crushes, then yeah, he could really hurt you. That makes sense, and then, yeah, I guess when you're in the last round, you're not really getting any guarantees on, like, all 4 or anything anyway, right? So, yeah, I guess that does make more sense. Now that he's dropped enough, he's a reasonable pick, like, to mix in. But you still wouldn't wanna be overexposed because he can't be in all 4, where, like, some guys around there could. I think that kinda makes sense. Um, wait, Dubs and Malik Willis for Nico Collins, 12-team dynasty super flex. Uh Dubs and Malik Willis for Nico Collins. I mean, I I guess probably I would rather have the Nico side in that, but I guess it depends on your other quarterbacks because Malik Willis, you're getting at least 1 year, maybe 2 years guaranteed starting. So if you're contending right now and you're counting on him for points, then maybe you keep Willis. But I personally think you're getting more value from the Nico side, like not really knowing the teams. I'm gonna go Travis Achan here, for 3 straight running backs. I'm gonna try to build out of that. I think it's pretty easy with the current landscape to build out of 3 straight. I think if you go, like, 4 out of your first 5 or something, then it gets a little bit unbalanced. But with 3 straight running backs, I feel pretty good that I can build out of this, and be okay. And I really like that 3. I like getting Travis Etienne there, like, a little bit later in the 3rd. That feels pretty good. CMC, Hampton, Etienne, I can, like, really wait on running back till I don't know, at least like double digit rounds if I want to. If I get a good value, maybe I take it, but it gives me the option, now I just kinda gotta load up on receivers a little bit, catch up, and then I'm pretty flexible going into, like, rounds 7 or 8 or so. Um, we'll see. I would like Lad here. Rashi would be okay. I am pretty worried about the legal stuff. It's just with that, it's so hard to project, but if he is fully like, I mean, he's gonna be healthy, right? So if he's playing, if he's not suspended, he's a great value, but that stuff's just so hard to project. I mean, last year I remember it was like in the middle of the summer and I was feeling like, oh, he probably isn't gonna get much of a suspension. Then he ends up getting 6 games. And then he didn't even pay off too much with all the negative Chiefs stuff last year, the injuries and just offense didn't look great at the end of the year. And then I think he had like a concussion or some other smaller injuries. Still be pretty happy with Lad here. I wouldn't mind Devonta either. Uh yeah, I'll actually grab a little bit more Devonta. I'm a little bit underweight on him. And there has been a little bit more smoke about the AJ Brown going to New England or just getting moved after the June 1st. Um So, I don't know, I feel like if that's the case, Devonta Smith is a really good value. Even if that's not the case, he's a fair pick at 41. So I feel pretty good with that, and it gives me some good upside. He is my wide receiver 1, so if AJ Brown stays, then, it's not great as your wide receiver 1, but at least it gives me a little bit more of an upside swing than, like, maybe a Lad McConkey where I know it's gonna be a crowded offense. Granted, he could have upside because Mike McDaniel going to the Chargers. But Devonta Smith, if he's the wide receiver 1 in Philly, then, I'm just feeling, like, really good with that swing. I feel really good having him as my wide receiver 1 and behind these 3 running backs. Um, so I don't know, that's why I leaned him slightly over Lad. I do like Lad, but just kinda seeing too that I was overweight on Lad, underweight on Devonta, I wanted to balance that out a little. This team has so much testosterone. Hell yeah. Hell yeah, brother. Yeah, no, that's the way in the big 2026. I mean, all the teams now, you just gotta start with an insane amount of running backs. If you don't, then you're just, like, automatically cooked. Um, yeah, I don't know. I think 3 straight running backs is, like, pretty easy to build out of this year. And, I think you see a decent amount of people doing it, or maybe they don't do 3 straight, but they do, like, something like this, like hero wide receiver or whatever. I don't know, it's just so easy to build out of. I have tried going like 0 RB and stuff to varying degrees of, success or not, at least how I would view the team. Some of my 0 RB teams are horrible, some of them are pretty good. Oh, wow, Terry here. Yeah, see, this is working out. So we got Terry at 56, so feel pretty good there. Good fall on him. I like him at ADP. So to get him on a little bit of a fall, that feels pretty nice. Um, I could go Jaden Daniels if he gets back there. I think that would be okay. Yeah, I think the receivers I would get around to 80, 89 would be fine if I double tap him. So I could take Jaden Daniels here. He's my most owned quarterback. I have 20%. I just feel really good about Jaden Daniels in the 6th round. I think he's already proven to us that elite ceiling, almost 900 rushing yards as a rookie. I just I feel like his ceiling can match anyone in football, and the price on him, I don't know, I just love his price with his rushing upside. I don't think anyone in the NFL offers as much rushing other than Lamar, and Lamar goes like a round higher. Now, granted, their ADPs I feel like are getting closer because I feel like I see Jaden a lot more often in the 5th, but in this particular draft, or I mean, I guess ADP is right on the turn, but if he's almost a round cheaper than Lamar, I'm happy to click Jaden like every time. Um, I think just the rushing upside, no one can match those two. Maybe Hurts with touchdowns, but the tush push isn't as effective as we've seen it in previous years. Um, okay, so yeah, I think I gotta go with Jaden. I like the running back values. I do like Scadaboo. I have 16%, but we'll go Jaden pair up with our Terry McLaurin. That feels really good there. Uh, yeah, I'm really happy to get that stack to fall a little to me. Now I just got to kind of pound out receiver. I only have 2 through 6 rounds. That is a little bit scary. The room could really punish me for that, but we'll just kind of see how it falls to me. I feel like there's receivers I'll like that come back, but it could end up burning me. Should be fine though. I definitely need to get some receiver help soon. Malik arguably offers the most rushing upside, goes much later. Malik is my joint most drafted QB, but haven't gone crazy. I can see that, yeah. Malik offers close to as much rushing. Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean that's probably fair actually. I get I mean obviously the passing is probably a lot lower and with Miami's offense, but that's why he goes like I don't know, like 70 picks later or something. No, maybe not 70, like 50 picks later. But yeah, I mean he realistically could match the rushing. I feel so scared about their passing offense though. Like, man, it's A chain and nothing. Like it does have me really scared on Malik Willis, where I just worry about it being like I worry about him being like Justin Fields from last year, basically, where it's just such a dumpster fire. I don't know if he could get benched realistically. Maybe he could, but maybe there's not bench risk really, but just the team seems like they're trying to tank. I don't know. I mean, maybe they do get him a bunch of offensive help during the draft, but it just feels like they're trying to tank. And even I guess with Malik Willis, what that concerns me with is maybe he does give you floor, but then there's just no ceiling with them. But the rushing upside just gives you ceiling, I guess, right? Here I guess we go Michael Wilson. I don't have any. So I'll take my first share of Michael Wilson here. I know Candyman loves him. I don't know. I'm just not a big believer in the Arizona offense, I guess, as a whole. Like I'm probably really low on every single piece, I bet. Except for the running backs. I took a bunch of Algier before he signed. I'm taking a little bit now. I think his price is still fair, but the running backs have a little, but the Trey McBride 1.3, Marvin Harrison 2.7, Michael Wilson 0. I don't think that they're gonna have the same play volume, and I don't think they were all that efficient. I think they're just I don't know. It's hard to not believe one of the receivers will probably pay off his price. And I think Trey McBride will be okay, but I've kind of soured on the whole elite tight ends in general. Um, I just feel like if Arizona has a little bit lower play volume and they're able to actually run the ball, like near the end of the year, I mean, they couldn't run at all, and they were throwing like 40 times a game every game. Like I believe they led the NFL in pass attempts. But either way, they were at least top 3. I'm sure of that. Um, all right, I'll make my pick here, then I'll finish the point. Chris Godwin, I like. Justin Herbert, I like a lot. I have Hampton. That would be pretty nice to lock up quarterback, and I don't even have to worry about it. We'll do that. Uh, yeah, so I'll do that, and then I can be done at quarterback if I want to be. I actually probably will be done at quarterback. That way I can pack on a little more volume at receiver. I'll probably just stop at 2. I spent a lot of capital. I have Herbert stacked with Hampton, which isn't the best stack, but I'm not really super worried about stacking at this point, and Herbert has a lot of easy back stacks. Like, I could take Gadsden tight end 1 here for me. Um, but, something like that I can look at, Trey Harris, even, like, Keandre Lambert Smith if I wanna get wild late. But yeah, I really like that. Now I feel just totally set at QB. Don't care if I get a 3rd or not. If I do, I'm not really looking at anyone in particular. Maybe if, like, Shuck falls a lot, I get him with Travis Etienne. But we'll kinda see what comes back. Dolphins draft 2 rookie wide receivers, buy low now. Agreed there could be bench risk, but it's low. Yeah, I mean, I really do think they're gonna draft probably 2 rookie wide receivers also. I don't know how early of picks they're gonna spend. Maybe I don't know. I think it's just so tough with the Dolphins because they're so difficult to project in that sense where it's like we're hopeful that they bring in talent in the draft. I guess I wonder too, how high would Malik Willis go up if they brought in Jordan Tyson and your favorite second round wide receiver prospect? They bring in Jordan Tyson and Elijah Surratt or Chris Brazzle. Maybe Chris Brazzle wouldn't fit well, but either way, they bring in like a first and a second rounder. Like, does he go up where like he probably doesn't go where like Kyler is or anything, right? We'll definitely go Wandale here. I don't have very much, and I want a lot more. I kind of wish I had picked more Wandale earlier. I feel like I was kind of disrespecting him because I felt like he was always, just that like kind of just receptions merchant, like didn't really do anything. He was just like a PPR merchant type guy. And he is a little bit in the sense he gets a lot of volume and it's not like his A dots crazy or anything like that. But I guess I disrespected how valuable his spike weeks were and like I don't know, yeah, just how valuable his spike weeks were and I guess how good his season was overall. Like he was borderline wide receiver 1 tier. Um Last year, just based on just his stats last year, I think he was like wide receiver 13 overall. Um, so yeah, I feel like I should have picked more Wandale earlier, and now I'm kind of catching up or trying to. But yeah, I feel like I kind of disrespected his like spike week potential and everything coming into this. So Gadsden goes. Don't mind Pollard if he falls. I don't need him though. I would probably rather pick Jaden Reed. Jaden Reed goes. Coker wouldn't be bad. Golden wouldn't be bad. Conception would be fine. Um, I think fine with any of those 3 receivers, I think I'm good with. Would prefer Coker. Kinda same thing, I want a little more exposure. Okay, Coker goes. So, I could get, like, my tight end 1 here. I think we just go Matthew Golden. I kinda like his upside, with Dobbs going. I feel like that opens up a little bit more of a chance for him to get on the field. I feel like his efficiency metrics and his ability to beat like man coverage looked somewhat promising. It was pretty limited snaps, but I think with the draft capital they gave him, them letting Dobbs walk, that kind of opens the door for him to get realistic playing time and going at 113. But given his archetype too, where he is that deep threat burner, he can give you spike weeks, is theoretically at least. Maybe not in reality. Kind of like this guy over here, Xavier Worthy. They're like the same guy. But yeah, I mean, I think Golden, he didn't get much of a chance to really play last year, and maybe it is just he's such a bust, he like can't even get on the field. But I feel like with the Romeo Dobbs void gone and all the snaps that opens up, it at least gives Golden a chance to get on the field, and he does have that first round draft capital. He is a burner, a deep threat, which is kind of what you want in best ball, where 1 week he can just hit the 80-yard touchdown and spike for you, right? So I don't know, I feel decent with Golden's price, but he's a guy that's I think just because he played so little, it makes it so hard to, just to really project him or anything like that. And I do like Jaden Reed quite a bit more than him, and they go in the same range, so I definitely have a lot more Jaden Reed than Golden. 'Cause I feel like Reed's shown that he can spike big on pretty limited snaps, and, same thing with Dobbs gone. I think him and Golden both get a bump. Watson was obviously the one, but I think him and Golden both get a bump with, Dobbs gone. And I mean, Watson does too, just with, less competition. I could take Malik Willis here. Jeff T did tell me to buy low. Um, but okay, Malik Willis goes, so I can't buy low. I could get some Kittle, get me some exposure to that George Kittle. Yeah, I don't mind that. Pair him up with CMC, get a little bit of a stack going. Um, don't hate Boston either, but we'll go with Kittle. Oops. Yeah, we'll go with Kittle. Um, all right. Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of coming around to Kittle's price. I mean, he is older, coming off a major injury, but I think just same kind of thing that spike week upside he can give you late in the year. And tight end is so easy to backfill. Like, I think it's so easy to just get 2 tight ends, like, pretty quick after this and feel pretty good with your overall production week to week, um, while you're waiting for Kittle, and then Kittle can potentially give you spike weeks, depends how he comes back, maybe the performance isn't really there because he won't be coming back probably till at least, like, October, at the very, like, earliest. So I don't know, but I think the weekly upside Kittle can give you is worth it. He probably has the most spike potential of any tight end, at least pre-injury. Um, so I think getting him there feels pretty good for the upside overall. I wouldn't mind Goddard there. NAZ, part of the reason they threw so much was they didn't have an RB they trust basically all year. The starting RB most of the year was Bam Knight. Who exactly? Yeah, no. I know. I agree completely. And that's kind of why that's part of why I was saying like I'm lower on the AZ guys other than the running backs. Even the running backs, like I think they're fine, but I don't love them. All right. I could grab a running back here. I do kind of like Dallas Goddard. I think we go Yeah, we'll grab Dallas Goddard here. Then I feel pretty safe behind Kittle at least. I feel pretty good with Goddard. I think he's a good value right now. He did kind of spike on touchdowns last year, but even without that, I mean, year to year, he just has a good role. He's usually a good value. Like at least last year and this year, I feel like he was. 2 years ago, I think his price was pretty high. He was in like the eighth round or something. But I don't know, just year over year, he's not like a monster tight end, but he gives you like 500 to 600 yards. He plays in a good offense. He always does miss a little time, so his totals are a little bit lower. But I think the big thing last year is the 11 touchdowns versus the really low amounts the last 3 years. Um, I feel like with the tush push not being as good and maybe Barkley just not being as good. I don't know if that's true, but the tush push definitely not being as good at converting goal line, and with Dallas Goddard, learn that shovel pass technique. I'm hopefully he kind of middles between the 11 and like the 2 or 3, right? And I just feel like in general, getting a good role, good offense for a tight end at 137, it feels pretty good. Hopefully, if they get rid of AJ Brown, same kind of thing. That gives you a boost to Goddard as well. Candyman started early, off to get my golf fix. Best of luck on your draft. All right, see you, Jeff. Thanks for stopping by, brother. Go learn about the Houston Open. Tell me who's gonna win. All right. So here, I think we're gonna go for. I think I'll go for Tyrone Tracy. I don't have hardly any of them. At first I was worried about the Ken Walker rumors. Now I'm a little bit worried about the Jeremiah Love rumors, but this late we'll take the upside swing on him. Or actually, I like Devo quite a bit. I think we're gonna go Debo instead. I have a ton of him. He's one of my most drafted. I think when he signs, he's gonna rise a ton. So we'll grab Debo here. Um, all right, here we go.
Don't let me near your cookout. I'm a lion, say I'm somebody. Uncle, brother, cousin, let me get a plate. Run up in your house like I'm getting in the real estate.
Uh, I love that clip. Fat Debo. I don't know. I'm hoping. I don't really know where I'm hopefully signs. I guess back to Washington would be pretty nice still. Maybe if Ayuk goes there, I guess sounds like Ayuk might go there, so maybe not. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I just feel like anywhere he signs, as long as it's not like the Browns or something, he should move up. Even if it is the Browns, he would be like their wide receiver one day one. So I think no matter what he move up, I don't really think Debo is a risk of retirement or anything like that. So I don't know. I've just been feeling pretty good with his price there. I think for my next pick, I think I'm probably looking at running back. Hopefully if Tyrone Tracy's still there, that would be pretty good. I just kind of wanted to shoehorn Debo in so I could play the clip. That was the main goal. But But yeah, I would really like to get Tyrone Tracy. If not, I was gonna say Aaron Jones would have been fine. Could take a little bit of Woody Marks. I mean, I think Dave Montgomery's gonna be like the 1A pretty clearly, but Woody Marks could probably still have a pretty decent role, maybe a good pass catching role. I don't know. And maybe Montgomery's not clearly the 1A. I am a Lions fan, so I could be pretty biased on that potentially. But okay, so we get Tyrone Tracy, so I'm just gonna go him. Jeremiah Love is not going to the New York Giants. We get Scadaboo's backup, so that feels pretty good that late. I mean, he got some workload. He's a good pass catcher. He's explosive, so he can break off big runs. That feels pretty good that late. Just give me a little bit of handcuff upside late. That's all I'm kind of looking for at running back to round out the room. I'm pretty much just my top three guys. I went three straight. They have to carry the RB room and hopefully flex each week. Uh, that's the main hope at the RB room, and those guys just have to carry me. And then other than that, I'm just gonna try to get the high upside handcuff type guys, right? Because I feel I don't need touches. I just need upside at RB now. I have plenty of guaranteed touches, and even if one guy goes down, I should be fine. Uh, so yeah, so I just want upside swings at this point at running back. I think at QB, like I said, I'm gonna stop at two. Could grab my third tight end soon. I don't totally love these guys. Where is Chig go? Oh yeah, he went. I guess I didn't realize Chig's ADP got this high up now. Um, where did he go? Oh, he went right after I took Tyrone Tracy. Yeah, I kind of tunnel visioned in on Tyrone Tracy, but I think I'm fine with that over Chig. Could have got another stack for Jaden, but I do have Jaden to Terry, so I don't same kind of thing. Like it would be nice, but I don't really need to force it. I would rather just get the upside swing at RB. I feel like Tracy was a pretty good price. He fell a decent amount. All right. So here I'm gonna go with Dalton Schultz, I think. I don't mind him to round out the tight end room. Could go Chimere DK. I don't have much of him. We'll go Schultz, just kind of that same thing, safe, steady. That way he just gives me a little bit of floor while Kittle's coming back. And then Goddard hopefully is a mix of kind of floor and upside. But Schultz, I think, just gives me that little bit of floor weekly where he's involved in the offense. Maybe he's not really giving you a ton of spike weeks per se, but he can at least give me that floor, consistent role in his offense while I'm waiting for Kittle to come back. Um, so let's see. What is Is anyone building anything very interesting? No, nothing too crazy. Yeah, nothing too crazy. I feel like the QBs got pulled off the board pretty quick in this one, but like Purdy at 87, I got decent value on Herbert, I feel like, but some of the QBs went pretty quick in this one. I guess they always kind of do though in 2026. Could go Bigsby, get same thing, another upside swing, good backup. B Rob was a good pick. Could have looked at him. I don't mind Chimere DK. I don't have hardly any Tank Dell. Could get a little Houston correlation with that. We'll go Tank Bigsby here. Yeah, just get a little Philly correlation. I don't really know if that matters, but maybe it's a little bit much, I guess. But if Bigsby's hitting the lineup, then he's a good pick in general, right? Because I mean, if Bigsby if Bigsby matters, then it doesn't really matter if he's a bad stacking combo with the other guys. He was just a really good pick. Um, but yeah, feel like high upside offense, obviously, behind an older running back with a lot of touches, injury history. Uh, Bigsby feels pretty locked in to be the RB2. This year's draft is weak at RB, so he feels pretty locked in. They didn't really make many moves in free agency. Yeah, I feel pretty good with him there, 185. Would have looked at B Rob. He went to the Falcons today, but would have looked at B Rob for sure. But Bigby's fine too. Um, yeah, I don't know what else do I need? I'll probably just rip a couple more receivers and then probably just rip a couple of receivers, maybe take one more running back shot, maybe a rookie shot. The rookie RBs this year are supposed to be pretty bad, but maybe you hit the one in the rough. Katron Allen's been my pick of choice, 30% of that guy. But yeah, I don't know. I kind of liked him. Like I watched a lot of stuff on him, but it does seem like maybe his lack of athleticism is really gonna hinder him like at the NFL level. Cause like it's like he's got all the moves and all the tools, but he's just not really like shifty or fast. He's kind of shifty, but he's just not like Katron Allen. Yeah, he's just not like he doesn't have that burst or explosiveness at all. And he's not like shifty like Bucky or something. Like he's decent at breaking tackles, but he's not like the best. Um, could take Flournoy here, Trey Harris or Trey Tucker. I mean, um, I don't mind Trey Tucker. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I don't know. Same like right now, he's arguably the wide receiver one on Vegas with Mendoza incoming. I'm sure they're gonna draft someone, at least I would think they will. Naylor might be the wide receiver one with his contract. I believe Naylor's being drafted as the wide receiver one for sure. Obviously Bowers is the real wide receiver one, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't mind taking on a little bit of a shot on Trey Tucker. I'm definitely not going to be overexposed to him though. He's just really cheap. If they decide they need to address O line or some defensive position before receiver, and they end up not drafting a guy till day 3 or something, maybe Trey Tucker is the wide receiver 1 or 2 on the team. This late, I like Clint Kubiak, I like Mendoza. I mean, Mendoza, it seems like he's a fine QB prospect. People are a little split on him, but I don't know, he just seems like low upside potentially, but I don't know, it's so hard. So many people get QBs wrong, even like the highest regard professionals get QBs dead wrong every year, so it's so hard to say, but I feel pretty good about Mendoza there with Kubiak. I think it's a good fit. Here I don't mind Ray Davis. I think same thing as my other guys. Like I'm just picking guys in well, not Tyrone Tracy. He doesn't play in a good offense, but he could potentially like he's more like closer to a 1B But then Bigsby and Ray Davis, I'm just taking guys in good offenses who are the clear backups, but if anything happens to the starter, then they could give you massive upside, right? So that feels pretty good to end out my running back room. Probably go 2 more receivers. I would take Aaron Rodgers if he made it back probably, just grab that 3rd QB, why not? I was kinda thinking about Rodgers there, but Jaden and Herbert, I don't know, I'll push it, see if he comes back, see if it was meant to be. Um, but yeah, I feel pretty good with the QBs just stopping at 2 with this build. I'm pretty 3 QB pilled in general, but, yeah, I wouldn't mind stopping at 2, especially if Rodgers doesn't make it back. I'm pretty much of the mindset Rodgers is just gonna play this year, so I don't know, I'm kinda just picking him at the end of the draft so I need him, but usually I have 3 QBs by now. Uh, but but yeah, I don't know. Obviously, there's a risk with him, but if he plays, he just gives you that good floor. If you deal with an injury, right, he gives you some floor, maybe some ceiling weeks, but mostly just that floor, that like safety net. Let's say one of my QBs gets hurt, the other one's on bye. Boom, got a safety net with Rodgers, right? I think that's where those guys really can come in handy. But yeah, we'll see who we got coming back. If it's not Rodgers, I'd probably just go 2 straight receivers to end it, and I just stop with Jaden and Herbert. Justin Fields pick, does he have Mahomes? No. Drake made Bryce Young, Justin Fields. Justin Fields is a wild pick to me because, what do you get, like, 4 weeks at the absolute best case? And then if Mahomes is healthy, then you're just kinda cooked. Chig tight on one. Fair enough. Yeah, we'll go Rodgers there. Grab the 3rd QB. A little bit of, I mean, maybe a lot of retirement risk, but I feel pretty good about his odds to play. Not much basis behind that. I don't know. I just feel like he did the same song and dance last year. It seems like he kind of opened the door to coming back, and maybe he just ends up saying he's retired, but I'll tack him on. He gives me more upside than probably anyone else can in this range. So we'll tag him on for a 3rd QB there. Just give me some safety net, some floor behind Jaden Daniels, Herbert. Hopefully Rodgers never even hits the lineup and he's playing. That's the best case scenario. So down here, we're just gonna go for a shot at wide receiver. AO Manor would be fine. Don't love Vele. Don't love Kyle Williams. Got a lot of Cup before Rashid Shaheed re-signed. Didn't think they were gonna do that. I thought Shaheed was gonna be a Raider, like, for sure. I thought he was gonna follow Kubiak, just like he did from New Orleans to Seattle. Um, I don't mind. Oh, Antonio Williams. I want to get some of him. His big board stuff, like all of his, draft tracking, like draft ranking tracking and stuff, is like he's trying to be a second round pick. And I don't know, from what I've heard about him, like he doesn't have very high upside potentially, but he can be very like he could be very plug and play in the right system and just give you production right away, even if maybe his ceiling's a little bit lower. And as a 20th round pick, if I can get a guy who, is almost definitely a day 2 pick by all the like big mock draft metrics and all that kind of stuff, and he seems like maybe a little bit lower upside, but can plug and play. I mean, that seems good to me for a 20th round pick rookie. Uh, but yeah, I definitely want to mix in more of him, more of Antonio Williams for sure. But all right, I'll run down the team quick. Um, I think I might hop off. I might just hop off. But let me go through the team quick. So I did a 3-6-8-3. We got Jaden Daniels, Justin Herbert, Aaron Rodgers. Feel really good with the quarterback room. Jaden Daniels, Herbert, good enough to stop at 2. But Rodgers in the 19th. Why not tack him on? Give me some more floor, like I was saying. So feel really good with the QB room. RBs, CMC, Omarion Hampton, Travis Achan, Tyrone Tracy, Tank Bigsby, Ray Davis. I feel pretty good with the RBs. It's really strong 3 up top. Hopefully they carry the they carry the room and they flex every week, other than when they're on the other than when they're on bye, right? Hopefully, I'm flexing a running back every week out of those three. But feel really strong with top three. Got good contingent upside with the bottom three. You know, a little bit of injury risk with CMC maybe, but I feel really strong with the top three and pretty good with the RB room overall. Wide receiver, Devonta Smith, Terry McLaurin, Michael Wilson, Wandale, Matthew Golden, Debo Samuel, Trey Tucker, Antonio Williams. I think wide receiver is a huge question mark. I'm really hoping Antonio or AJ Brown gets traded. So that Devonta Smith is the wide receiver one. You know, Michael Wilson could have been kind of a flash in the pan. Terry's getting older. They might draft a receiver in the first round. I think maybe I went a little bit too light at receiver. It could have been. It's hard when I went with the two heavy QBs, and I didn't put much in at receiver. I think I think maybe Herbert could have been a mistake. I do really like him there, but maybe a receiver at Herbert's spot would have been good. Um, that could have been the move, like Godwin. I was really thinking about Godwin there. That might have been a better move over Herbert. I might have felt better with my room overall, and then just, like, got 2 QBs pretty quick after, like, I coulda got, like, Murray or Love or something, paired him up with Golden. Um, but yeah, maybe that would have been a little bit better, but I feel okay with the team overall, or and I'll look at tight end, Kittle, Goddard, Schultz. I think that's fine. I think I built it okay enough to survive until Kittle comes back. Hopefully, then he gives me some spikes. Even if not, I feel fine with Goddard and Schultz. But receiver is going to be a big question mark. You know, I probably pushed it a little bit too much, especially going Jaden and Herbert. That was maybe my mistake. Maybe I should have just went more receivers or receiver instead of Jaden. Even maybe would have been the move. Um, but overall, I feel decent with the team. It's strong at, you know, QB and RB. I feel really strong at those. Receivers pretty weak and tight end feels fine. Yeah, I think overall it's an okay build. Don't love it, don't hate it. Um, I think I think with that, I think I'm gonna head off. I think I'm gonna do a little bit longer stream tomorrow. I'm gonna try to get on a little bit earlier. It's just a little bit late. Got some things to do, but yeah, but thanks for stopping by. You know, Jeff, thanks for stopping by, people. But yeah, I think I'm gonna call tonight. Probably do a little bit longer one tomorrow. But you know, hopefully draft a little bit better team. This one feels all right, but thanks for stopping by. Peace.